Today, inshallah, we will try to cover hadith number 11, 12, and 13. So this is my plan for the dars, inshallah. We'll shoot at 30 minutes. So hopefully with 30 minutes we'll be done. Everyone will be on their way going home, inshallah. Don't blame me if we go a few minutes, over 30 minutes. So I will recite the hadith, or I will read the hadith in Arabic first, and then translate. عن أبي محمد الحسن بن علي بن أبي طالب صبت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وريحانته رضي الله عنهما قال حفظت من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن صحيح. On the authority of Muhammad al-Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib, the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, leave that about which you are in doubt for that which you are in no doubt. دع ما يريبك إلى ما يريبك, something you're in doubt of, you're not sure, to something that you have no doubt in. I will explain this, but before I explain it, what is the word grandson in Arabic? Hafid, right? So, but always about Al-Hasan or Al-Hussein, we hear the word sibt, not Hafid. So what does sibt mean? Sibt Rasulillah, not Hafid Rasulillah. Naam, Jazakallah khair. Sibt is the son of your daughter, but the son of your son is Hafid. So these are two Arabic words, Hafid and sibt. Both mean grandson, but if he is the son of your daughter, then we say sibt. طيب. So if there is something you're not sure of, Abdullah, Salam alaikum ya Abdullah, why don't you join us? This is noisy. So دع ما يريبك إلى ما يريبك. This hadith actually نعم نعم دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. جزاك الله خير. Good. So sometimes you might be in doubt about something. I will give examples here. So the book that I'm reading from mentions some examples, and I will add to these examples, inshallah ta'ala. The zakat al-mal, right? There is a threshold. We talked about the threshold of zakat al-mal. If you own what is equal to about $5,000 for more than a year, then you pay the zakat. What is the percentage of the zakat? 2.5. So what is 2.5 out of $5,000? Anyone good at math here? $5,000. What is 2.5%? 250? No, 100 and something. 120. So 120. Okay. So that means if you have $10,000, you pay 240, right? So that's zakat al-mal. Hey, there's always a question for the sisters about their jewelry. They might have a lot of gold, and the price of the gold or the amount of the gold they have is equal to maybe $10,000 or $20,000. Should they pay zakah or not? Scholars have two opinions here. Some scholars say yes. I can't speak without it. Yeah.
So the sisters.
Oh, there's sisters in the back. So some scholars say women. Yeah. Jazakallah. But I'm not sitting here.
Yeah,
Looks like. So some scholars say that women who have gold that reaches the threshold of zakah, they have to pay zakat al-mal. Other scholars say, well, it depends. If they just use it, then they don't have to pay zakat. But if they keep it for the purpose of business, they're going to sell it. They have the intention to sell this gold, then they have to pay zakat. So if there is one sister, then this is a doubtful matter, then she should leave what doubts her into what doesn't, doubt her. That means it is better for her to pay a zakat. Qira'at Surah Al-Fatiha, to recite Surah Al-Fatiha if you are praying behind the Imam. Do you have to recite Surah Al-Fatiha or not in the first two rak'ah, like Salatul Isha? Rak'ah number 1 and rak'ah number 2, the Imam is already reciting Surah Al-Fatiha. You as a ma'moon, someone praying behind the Imam, should you recite Surah Al-Fatiha or not? We have two different opinions for scholars. Some scholars say yes, you should, or you actually must. Some scholars say the Imam's recitation is enough for you, you don't have to. If you are in doubt, just recite it. Okay, Zakat al-Fitr. When do we pay Zakat al-Fitr? Before Salat al-Eid, right? Like you have to pay it before Salat al-Eid. Should you pay it in grains? Like should you buy, dates or rice or raisins? Or should you pay it in money, like cash money? Again, it's a debate among scholars. Some scholars say you can just pay cash to the poor people because they need the cash. Some scholars say no, we have to stick to the sunnah, and in the sunnah you have to to pay it in grains, any kind of grain, like raisins, dates, rice, and any grain like that. If you are in doubt, just leave the doubt to something that you don't have any doubt in. طيب. Calculations or moon sighting. This is another issue, for the beginning of Ramadan and for the Eid. And we recently have had this conversation with other masjids in the area of Pittsburgh, because Ramadan is coming up soon, inshallah. May Allah make us among those who reach and complete the month of Ramadan. Allahumma ameen. Should we just follow the calculations? Calculations say what? First day of Ramadan this year will be Monday, March 11th. Right? That's what calculations say. But moon sighting, we don't know. We have to wait. Right? So which should we follow? It's a big debate, and it's a big, every side will have their argument. Some will say, no, we have to follow the calculations. But the other people will say, but the Prophet ﷺ did not follow calculations. And then the first group will say, okay, did the Prophet ﷺ, how did the Prophet know the times for the prayer? Salat al-Dhuhr, al-Asr, al-Maghrib, al-Isha. How did the Sahaba do that? Did they have any calendars, any watches, any phone applications? They didn't. So how did they know the times for the Salah? By the shadow, right? They would have a stick, and by the length of the shade. If it's the same, if it's double, you know what I mean? They look at the sun when it goes down, al-Shafaq al-Ahmar. They have the signs. That tells them what time is for what. But now, what do we do? How do you know that it's Salat al-Dhuhr al-Asr? What do you do? Do you do that? Does anyone here have a stick in his house, in his backyard, to look at the shade to know that? No one does that. We just follow what? Calculations. I can tell you Salat al-Dhuhr a month away from now, or maybe a year. I will just download the Islamic calendar for Salah from Islamic Finder website, and it tells you like maybe 10 years ahead. That's calculations, and everyone follows that. But then the other group will say, no. The sun is not the moon. Because the Salah follows the sun, and the sun is always stable, doesn't change. But the moon changes. And the beginning of the month and the end of the month follows the moon, not the sun. So it's a big argument, and it's a big debate going, back and forth between the two sides. If this is something that, you think is doubtful, you just leave it into something that you have no doubt about, which is the moon sighting. Do you want to know what we decided here in this masjid? You want to know? In our masjid, if we are going to follow the moon sighting calculations? Who wants to know? Everyone? Okay, even us, we have had this conversation. You guys from ICP, you decided to follow calculations, right? Yes. Monroeville, the MCCGP, decided to follow calculations. I think MAP also decided to follow calculations. Tawheed decided to follow moon sighting. We will follow moon sighting, inshallah. Bi'idhnillah, that's what we are going to follow. Even though if you see me sending the Ramadan calendar saying like Monday is the first day of Ramadan, but still we will follow the moon sighting, bi'idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب, okay. What else? Eating from a non-Muslim restaurant. We talked in detail about this matter before, if you remember. But if you have doubts, then don't eat. Just as simple as that. Find some Muslim restaurant and eat from it, inshallah ta'ala. طيب. There is a qaida that I have to explain. It says, al-yaqinu la yazulu bil-shakki. Certainty is not removed by doubt. What is that? Now, if you made wudu, okay, to pray what? To pray Salat al-Maghrib. And now it's the time for Isha. And you ask yourself, did I break my wudu or not? I need to pray Isha. Should I make a new wudu or not? You're not sure. You are certain, you're sure that you made wudu for Salat al-Maghrib. But there is some doubt. Did you break your wudu or not? What should you do for Isha? Are you required to make a new wudu for Salat al-Isha or not? Now we have certainty, right? Which is wudu for Maghrib. And we have doubt that you may have broken your wudu, you may have not. So doubt does not remove certainty. So you can just pray. And don't make the shaitan invade you and invade your thinking in the salah. Okay, did I pray? Oh, I think I did. I think no. Maybe yes, maybe no. Don't do that. Just pray with the same wudu that you made for Maghrib or for Asr or for Dhuhr or for whatever salah. Okay. Purchasing a house or a car with APR. You all know what APR is, right? The annual, what is APR short for? Annual percentage rate, right? Which is interest, which is basically riba, right? Is it halal or haram? Can I purchase a new car or a house and just pay the APR? Was it 6% or 4% or whatever the percentage is? There's some doubt in there. Better not to, but there's some scholars, they give excuses of darura or haja, necessity, that you really need to buy this car or you really need to purchase this house or, through some Islamic financing institutions or there are some ways. But if you want to be on the safe side, if there is a way for you to stay away from this interest, it's always better to do that. It's always better to stay away from it. Okay. طيب, we move on, inshallah ta'ala, to the next hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said in a hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah, قال من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. Hadithun Hasan. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, part of the perfection of someone's faith is leaving alone that which does not concern him. Does it annoy you when some people ask you about your income? Like, how much salary do you get? What is your monthly income? If you come to the masjid fundraisers, how much did you donate to the masjid? And they keep asking questions. And these questions, they actually don't concern them. Why should you ask these questions? And some people will ask you about your weight. How much do you weigh? And sisters hate that, right? Brothers usually don't care. Some people ask you about your age. How old are you? And a lot of ulama said, don't say. If someone asks you how old are you, don't answer this. Me? I'll tell you when we are alone, inshallah. Okay, so they say it doesn't concern you. You know what I mean? What benefit you will get if you know my income? What benefit you will get if you know my weight? What benefit you get if you know my address? What benefit you get if I know this or that? There's no benefit, right? So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Min husni Islam il-mar." It gives perfection to your Islam. It gives perfection to your iman to leave these matters that don't concern you. Something that doesn't concern you, just leave it behind, right? طيب, من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعني. I will have to go back to the previous hadith, which دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. This hadith in other narrations, not in the 40 Nawawi Hadith, it has a completion. The Prophet ﷺ said, فَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ طُمَأْنِينَ وَالْكَذِبَ or وَالْكَذِبُ. The people that know Arabic grammar. فَإِنَّ الصِّدْقَ طُمَأْنِينَ وَالْكَذِبَ or وَالْكَذِبَ. Why? Because it's معطوف على اسم إن, right? نعم. وَالْكَذِبَ رِيبَ. What is الصدق? Truthfulness. It's طُمَأْنِينَ. It's like peace of mind, tranquility. وَالْكَذِب. What is kadhib? Lying. Riba. What is riba? Like suspicion. So subhanAllah, even you can tell it from, if someone is telling you the truth, sometimes you can even tell from their eyes if they're telling the truth or if they are lying. The same, it happens. If you find some peace in your heart about something, usually it's truthful. If you are doubtful, maybe it's not the truth. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. The next hadith, hadith number 13, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believes until he, meaning you, love and he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. So you will not have a higher level of iman until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. There is a hadith that is actually related to this story. In hadith, the Prophet ﷺ told us a story in a hadith that is related to this hadith and to the previous hadith about doubtful matters. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, اشترى رجل or رجلا رجل فاعل, right? اشترى رجل من رجل ولا من رجلا من رجل. نعم. So this is all Arabic grammar. Don't worry about it. رجلا رجل رجل. Don't worry about that. So اشترى رجل من رجل عقارا له. So a man purchased a property from another man. فوجد الرجل الذي اشترى العقار ولا العقار عقار مفعول به. فوجد الرجل الذي اشترى العقار في عقاره جرة or جرة فيها ذهب. So he found a jar full of gold. So the first man purchased what? A property from the second man. So the first man, he found in that property a jar full of gold. فقال الذي اشترى العقار. So the man that purchased, the buyer, he went to the seller and he says, خذ ذهبك, take your gold. إنما اشتريت منك الأرض. I just purchased the land. Okay? وَلَمْ أَبْتَعْ مِنْكَ الذَّهَبَ. And I didn't purchase the gold. I just found the gold. It doesn't belong to me. وَقَالَ الَّذِي لَهُ الْأَرْض. And the seller, what did the seller say? إِنَّمَا بِعْتُكَ الْأَرْضَ وَمَا فِيهَا. I sold you the land and whatever is in the land. So both of them, they don't want to take that. They love for, each other what they love for themselves. And they want to keep themselves away from doubts. So this one says you take it and this one says you take it. Well, imagine if this happens today. Allah Alam. You can imagine the scenario in your head. So فَتَحَاكَمَ إِلَى رَجُلٍ. So they went to another man to, as a kind of judge. فَقَالَ الَّذِي تَحَاكَمَ إِلَيْهِ. I'm not going to tell you what this judge say, but I would love to ask you, if you have two people coming to you with this problem, what is your judgment going to look like? What are you going to say?
Half.
Half and half? I like that.
That's very fatty.
Okay. Any other solution to this?
No, if the person who's the seller is okay with just giving the money to the other, the buyer, that's okay.
Okay. If he's okay, yeah, that can be a good solution.
That he is not aware that there was something in his
Right.
house, and now he is already forgiving this.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Jazakallah khair. What do you think, Abu Bakr? Huh? They can put it in Baytul Mal as a sadaqah. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Good. We have good judges here, mashallah. Okay, so الذي تحاكم إليه, the man that they went to, the judge asked the first man, do you have a child? He said, yes, I have a boy. And he asked the other man, do you have a child? He says, yes, I have a daughter. They said, marry them with the money, with this, like sold the gold, get the money, and marry the boy off to the girl and spend the money on their marriage. And whatever remains, give it as sadaqah. And they did so, and he solved the problem with that.
It will not work today.
It's not going to work, right?
The kid
Yeah.
will not.
Marry her, take the money and divorce.
MashaAllah. Some tactics here.
No,
Yeah.
but if there is gold over there, they will go.
But they doesn't like the boy.
Jazakumullah khair. Okay, I'll conclude this inshallah. So these are the 3 hadith that I wanted to read to you today. I will conclude this. Tonight is the what? Night 15th, which is the middle night of Sha'ban, right? As we said yesterday, I tried to find some hadith, authentic hadith that talk about the privilege or fadl of this night that we are in actually now. I found one authentic hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive everyone in this night. I ask Allah to forgive all of us. Except for 2, mushrikin or mushahin. The one who is making shirk billah, and the one who has disputes with his brother, with another person. So I recommend myself and you brothers, inshallah, when you go home tonight, before you go to bed, try to see if you have a problem with someone, just text them. Say, Assalamu alaikum brother, how are you? Check in on them, please. And there is another hadith that says, إِلَّا لِمُشْرِكٍ أَوْ قَاتِلٍ أَوْ مُشَاحٍ. Allah will forgive everyone except for a mushrik, or a killer, or someone who has disputes with another person. Okay? If you can pray tonight as Qiyamul Layl, not as something specific to this night, but maybe this will be a good beginning for those of us who don't do Qiyamul Layl. Qiyamul Layl could be done by only 1 rak'ah. Like when you go home, if you pray just 1 rak'ah before you sleep, inshallah, this is Qiyamul Layl. If you can wake up before Fajr and pray that rak'ah, it's Qiyamul Layl. If you can pray 3 rak'at, alhamdulillah, like 2 rak'ah and 1 witr, inshallah, this is Qiyamul Layl. If you can have a fresh start tonight, inshallah, this will be something great. But there is definitely some fadl, some privilege for this night over the other nights of Sha'ban. Forget about the bid'ahs that people do, is like the Salatul Alfiyah, that they pray 100 rak'ahs and in each rak'ah they do this or that. And some of them say we recite Surah Yasin, some others will say, I think, recite Surah Al-Waqi'ah or Surah Al-Mulk. And I couldn't find any hadith, any authentic hadith that supports any of these ibadat, any of these special ibadat in this night, except for the one I told you about. Jazakumullah khair. Any questions?
There is a mandatory making niyyah for the siyam sunnah.
Jazakallah khair. How about fasting tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 15th of Sha'ban. If you fasted yesterday and today, the 13th, the 14th, you can fast tomorrow. If not, you can fast only tomorrow. That's fine. As one of the 3 days. Why do you call them wide days? Because the moon, try to look for the moon when you leave the masjid. It's beautiful. Allah, it's beautiful. Yeah, the wide days. So if you don't have the intention to fast tomorrow, you can. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us different talents. Some of us can fast. They can do that. Some of us find it really hard. I know some people that say, I cannot fast even 1 single day outside of Ramadan. It's only Ramadan, that's it. But subhanAllah, when you look at the sadaqah, he's very generous. He gives a lot of donations. Some others, they fast a lot, but they don't give donations. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given every one of us some kind of talent. The ulama say that Allah opens the door for you. Some of us, Allah will open the door of siyam. So fast a lot. If you are one of those people, fast a lot. Some of us, Allah will open the door of sadaqah. If you are one of those people, give sadaqah a lot. Some of us, Allah will open the door of helping others. He's so talented in helping others. Allah opens this door for you. Just do it. Some of us is a good listener. He's a really good listener. He knows how to listen to people and their problems and, gives them advice. Do that. Yes, brother.
So if I'm used to following listener for my fasting, I've been following them for many, many years. So can I continue, or because now you guys are
Inshallah, Isna and us will match. Inshallah, that's our hope. Inshallah, that we will match in the beginning and the end of the month. But do you want, I'm not going to give you my own fatwa, I don't give fatwas, but that's the fatwa of the ulama. They say follow your community.
Yeah, but my community is a great of
Which masjid do you go to the most?
and you guys are not even in concert, you're not even, so the whole community is divided, that's how I look at it.
But which masjid do you go to the most?
I go here because I live near here.
Okay, so you follow this community if you come here a lot.
Monroeville, and I lived in Monroeville. Like
Okay, now you're part of this community. Inshallah, we will not be divided. Inshallah.
So go back to the niyyah. If somebody did not have a niyyah to fast tomorrow and he wakes up and realizes I'm supposed to fast today, is it valid that he, since he didn't eat?
Jazakallah khair. This is a very good question. Do you have alaykum salam wa rahmatullah? Say salam to brothers at ICP. Jazakallah khair. If you wake up during the day and you did not set up your intention the night before or the day before that you will be fasting, can you fast or not? Or yes. Yes for nafil, not farida. Like if you are making up for a day you missed in Ramadan, so that day becomes a farida, you have to have the intention the night before or the day before, right? But if it's nafil, the Prophet ﷺ used to do so. He would go home, ask for food. If they say there is nothing to eat, he would just continue the day fasting that day. So that's fine. Jazakumullah khair.
On the opposite, when he could break the fast in some occasions.
And you can break your fast?
Sunnah fast.
Yeah, you can do that. If someone invites you over food and it's sunnah fasting, you can definitely break your fast. And you can, by the way, break your fast by just the niyyah. Even if you eat nothing, that you intend that you're breaking your fast, you're not fasting. You're muftir. With just niyyah, without drinking or eating. Wallahi. Just the niyyah. Right. Yeah, your intention comes first. In any ibadah, if there is no intention, there is no ibadah.
So let me ask this question. I just propose, because we know in Ramadan that it's a regular fast to have relations with your wife, then you have to fast 60 days.
Yes.
If you're doing a nafil and you break for that reason, is there a penalty?
If you break your nafil for that reason,
The same as eating.
It's the same, I think. No?
what?
As eating.
It's
Well, if you have an intercourse with your wife during the day of Ramadan, you definitely break your fast, and you have to make it up. You fast how many days? Did Allah say فَصِيَامُ شَهْرَيْنِ مُتَتَابِعَيْنِ? So what does مُتَتَابِعَيْنِ mean? Like running, like back to back. Like you can't, with no emergency. Only if you have emergency you can break one of the days. But other than that, wa alaykum salam tullah. Other than that, ulama said if you break one day intentionally, with no excuse, with no valid excuse, you start over.
He's asking about nafila.
Is that your shay?
He's asking about if it's a sunnah fasting and it happened,
We know
the person.
Okay.
So
If
far we know what the penalty
Yes.
is. Is there a penalty for nafila?
okay, jazakallah khair. What I know is no, there isn't. It just you're breaking your fast. If you're fasting, the brother's question is, if you're fasting and you get involved in intercourse with your spouse, okay, now you break your fast, do you have to make up for that day? The majority of the scholars, Ra'yul Jumhur, is no, you don't. You don't make up.
You can fast, but you can break your fast. You don't have to do anything.
Exactly. You will always find minor opinions. Like, for example, if you're fasting, you must be fasting in Ramadan. If you eat or drink, forgetting, like, you just forgot that you are in Ramadan. Especially this happens during the first couple of days. What should you do?
Different.
You continue, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to make up for your day?
No.
Is anyone from Morocco or Tunisia here?
Yeah, it depends.
You're Maliki?
Yeah, Malik, you have to.
Yes.
Do it.
Al-Malikiya, yes, in Morocco, in Tunisia, those that follow Madhab al-Maliki, you have to make up for the day. Even if you eat forgetting.
You are forgetting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if we forget, if we drink or do anything.
Right.
You have to. You continue the day.
But
you have to take
But
another.
Shafi'i you don't.
No, Shafi'i, Al-Hanbali,
Are you traveling to there? It's Ramadan.
No, but I was in Tunisia and this was the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're here now. You can be Shafi'i or Hanafi for this month of Ramadan. So if you eat or drink, you don't have to worry about it if you forget.
So I had that issue one time,
Uh-huh.
not forgetting eating by forgetting. I woke up late and I did not realize I was late for suhoor.
No.
And I ate, and then after I ate suhoor, I realized that I ate late.
No.
And I fasted the day and I repeated the fasting. What's the ruling on that?
Jazakallah khair. As we said in this one, because I researched this matter as well, the ulama say if you wake up after Fajr, but you don't realize it's after Fajr. Let's say Fajr is 6 o'clock, you wake up 7 and you think it's still 5 for some reason. You eat and you drink and you look at your watch, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. What should you do? You continue the day, definitely. We have two opinions for the scholars. There is one opinion that says, you're fasting, you're good, you didn't break your fast, you know. ربنا, their dalil is, ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. This ayah from Surah Al-Baqarah, oh Allah, don't hold us accountable if we forget or if we make a mistake. And now you're making a mistake, so Allah will not penalize you, Allah will not ask you to make up that day. But yet there is another scholarly opinion that says you have to make up for that day. Now, go back to this hadith, دَعْ مَا يُرِيبُكَ إِلَى مَا يُرِيبُكَ. What do you feel, comfortable with? Which opinion? You just follow it. If Allah gives you peace of mind following this opinion that you're good, just follow that. If you think, no, I just want to be on the safe side, I will make up for that day, then do it. Allah. That's what I myself do.
I think it's the same rule if you break fast after the Fajr, or for me we had a problem when they make the adhan before the Maghrib. And
No.
all the village break
They
fast before the time.
broke their fast.
Yeah,
Right.
they said what we have to do.
Exactly.
It was general problem. So I think it's
Uh,
the same rule for all.
I can tell you that the fatwa, since you're from Tunisia, the fatwa that was given to them is make up for that day, right? Yeah.
And we make up all the village
Yes.
for the mistake of the
Did you beat that muadhin up? So, yeah, just,
It was for 2 or 3 minutes.
yeah, even if it's 1 minute. So,
Yeah, for 1 or 2 minutes, it's just
Yeah.
his mistake because he take the adhan instead of the city around us, he take it from the
from another city, okay.
Yeah, and it was just a 2
So he
or
must
3
have listened it on the radio or something.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was someone changed the radio.
Okay.
But Sheikh,
Allah.
sometimes I notice that the adhan is way after the sun has already set down. Like
Which adhan? Fajr or Maghrib? Maghrib?
Yes, it seems like the sun is already set down before, and here in Pittsburgh, like there is 7-8 minutes.
Brother, there's hills, you cannot
What?
make a judgment. If you want the most accurate Maghrib and sunrise, it is on the naval website, the army website, naval whatever. They have the most accurate atomic whatever accurate number, and it matches all the Islamic.
I follow Islamic fine though, but sometimes I'm looking outside and it's dark, you know.
Well, me personally, especially for Salat al-Maghrib, I ask Siri, I said, Siri, what time is sunset today? Because it's accurate. And it tells you and it always matches, wallahi, the sunset. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm just, live streaming, but you can ask if someone has Siri now, Siri, what time is my sunset tomorrow? I look at the calendar, they always match.
Because they get their information from NASA.
Yeah, so don't worry. There is a question here, I will just answer it. Someone says, Assalamu alaikum, is there a dalil from the Sunnah that says if you eat or drink by mistake during Ramadan that you don't need to make up for the day? Yes, the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ. The Prophet ﷺ said, it is Allah who fed him and it's Allah who gave him the drink. إِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ. And from the Quran, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا. The last ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah, don't hold us accountable if we make a mistake or if we forget. So these two dalils support the opinion that if you eat or drink by mistake or forgetting in Ramadan, you don't have to make up for that day. But just stop. Once you remember, stop. What if you see someone? Remind them. Remind. If you see like your wife or your kid eating during Ramadan, remind, hey, you're fasting. What?
2 minute difference.
2 minutes apart. Oh, really? Which one is behind?
Between series and the series is behind by 2 minutes. Islamic Finder is 2 minutes ahead.
Okay, so I would follow Siri. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Jazakumullah khair.
Later is better.
Yes, later is always.
So the,
Well, the Prophet ﷺ says, يعني عجلوا بالفطار.
Yeah,
So, but
for
should-
certainty.